The map that started it all, but remastered for the best game for Call of Duty Zombies. I actually made an entire video. I spent way too much time on this video for it just to be scrapped. But I was actually going to do a series talking about like all the different COD maps and kind of what I would not really rank them as, but just kind of my own personal take and review on each map. It was inspired by Lucky Sevens and The Smith Plays, but ultimately I just kind of figured a couple of things. One, I didn't want to copy the work of people I was inspired by, because ultimately by the time I was done the video and I was actually watching it, it truly did feel just like stuff that people had already made. But also I didn't want to really commit to a series that is 34 parts long. And if you include all the remakes, 49, which I didn't think I was going to talk about the remakes. But either way, kind of pleased that the video didn't come out, because I know ultimately I wouldn't have finished the series, and then I would have been stuck kind of being the guy that started a series and didn't finish it. But people seem to be freaking out about Twitter, and I don't really have a full opinion because I don't use Twitter like everyone else does, but they're talking about the Twitter Blue thing. So it's where you can pay Twitter. It's like $8 a month or something like that. It's kind of expensive, and you don't really get anything for it. The one thing you do get is a blue verified checkmark. Like, you remember the blue checkmark that used to be on verified accounts to prove that someone was real or legit? It was kind of the only way to prove that someone wasn't a scam artist and was the original real thing. Now the only way that you can tell is by having an account with, you know, 100 million followers or something like that, or even just a few 100,000. That's the only way that you can tell. And I know that people are going to go on there, they're going to pretend to be someone that they're not, they're going to pay for Twitter Blue, get the checkmark, and then just like message people and be like, hey, I'm kind of down on my luck, send me some money. And some people will be like, oh, you're my favorite person, of course I'll send you money. And there we go, scammer gets scam buddy. But like I say, I don't use Twitter much like everyone else does. I go on there every now and again. I just kind of see what people are angry about. That's what I use Twitter for, is to go on, see what everybody's enraged about, see if I agree. And if I don't, I just move on. And if I do, I still just move on. But I do have a Twitter. It's linked in the description. You can go give that a follow if you'd like. Probably the best place if you ever want to get in contact with me, just send me a DM over there. Either that or Instagram, which is also down there. But in the last upload that I made, I was talking about like streaming on Twitch, doing platinum trophies and stuff like that. I just wanted to make it very evident that I'm not done streaming on YouTube. YouTube is just kind of where I do all of my zombie content. I have some new ideas for some series coming out in the next few weeks, maybe even months, but for the time being, it's entirely just zombies. That means videos and streams, right? So when I play different games and I try to go for the platinum trophy, that's on Twitch, just to try and keep the audiences and the content separated. But zombies videos and zombies live streams, for the time being, still remain here. So if there ever was any concern about that, fret not. Not that there really was much concern for that anyway. I don't think there was a whole bunch of people in the comments, Twitch, YouTube. Man, BO3. This game was absolutely unreal. I remember the hype for it was crazy because by the time this game came out, people were absolutely sick of Advanced Warfare. And when they found out that it was going to be another advanced movement game, but it wasn't going to be the double jump, it was going to be like a jetpack style, and then you could like run on walls and stuff, and the hype for this game was real. And then people were super excited to not only have Shadows of Evil, but also the Giant, Doris fully reimagined in ultra quality on launch too. Now don't get me wrong, it was locked behind a paywall, just kind of like Nuketown was for Black Ops 2. And I find that a little bit dirty. I mean, I don't really like paywalls for content. I think everything should just already be included in the price, or, you know, something like that. But either way, pretty much everybody got it. I mean, afterwards, when you didn't need the season pass to get it and you could just buy it for like $5 or whatever. But the multiplayer for this game was unreal. It was so good. Now, I didn't play a whole lot of it. I think I was like Prestige 1 or 2. Majority of my time on this game was spent playing zombies, just kind of like I imagine everyone else in this community. And overall, I ended up not even completing the campaign because it was really disappointing, especially, well, for a couple of reasons. One, it didn't continue on the story of Mason and Woods and their kids and stuff like that. Now, I get it. This game is based way in the future. All those characters are probably dead. Definitely Mason and Woods. And their kids would be really old and they didn't want to rehash that same type of story. Plus, you have a game that is based on like exosuits and advanced movement. So I get it. I really, really do. But it's still still is just really unfortunate that they just have this amazing world, this amazing story that they've been building up across World at War, Black Ops, and Black Ops 2. And then Black Ops 3 comes out and they just completely abandon it altogether. Black Ops 4 ultimately didn't even have a campaign, so that wasn't an issue. And I think they thought that people were just sick of campaigns and nobody wanted to play them anymore. That's not true, because when Cold War came out, a lot of people played that campaign. I mean, when Modern Warfare 2019 came out, a lot of people played that campaign. So it wasn't the issue that the campaigns, people weren't playing them. It was like the lack of quality, I think anyway. That's why people weren't playing them. I didn't mean to open that door. Why did I do that? You never open the help door. I meant to go up the stairs. But this multiplayer, for like the bit that I did play, it was truly awesome. It had some of the best advanced movement that Call of Duty has ever had. The very, very little that I have played of Infinite Warfare, I much preferred Black Ops 3, and everyone else did too. After Black Ops 3, people were so genuinely sick of advanced movement that when Infinite Warfare's trailer came out, it truly is one of the most disliked videos on the entire platform, which is unreal that a trailer for a Call of Duty game. I don't know where it is now, but I think at the time it was like one of, if not the most disliked video, which is crazy. I mean, that speaks millions. And then Sledgehammer came out with COD World War II, and at least at launch, people were very, oh, whoops. That wasn't supposed to happen. Ultimately, I'm just really excited to see what XDefiant does with potentially a zombies mode. When I went to their website to try and sign up for access to the closed beta, which I ultimately ended up not getting, when I signed up, they asked me, what games do you mostly play? And there was a couple of pretty common options like Apex Legends, I'm pretty sure was there. Of course, Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone, but there was actually Call of Duty Zombies, which is really interesting. XDefiant, the beta or the closed beta was out, and it's kind of a Call of Duty clone. They're doing their own thing. It's a Ubisoft title, but they're kind of striving to have that classic multiplayer feel. What do they want to know about zombies? Why do they want to know that you play Call of Duty Zombies more than Warzone and Modern Warfare 2? I feel like they're asking because they are maybe not even on the fence. Maybe it's actually in development. XDefiant to release with a zombies mode. And that would be unreal. That would be so cool. Because I've seen gameplay on Twitch and different YouTube videos and stuff like that. And although I wasn't able to get access to play the beta myself, at least not in its closed state. Hopefully there's some type of open beta, and then I'll be very excited to get my hands on that day one. And when the game becomes free to play, which it is going to be free to play from what I've read, I'll be playing that day one. I'm excited for the multiplayer offerings that it will have. But XDefiant doing a zombies mode. Call of Duty developers doing a Call of Duty Zombies mode. That sounds amazing. And there is proof there of how much money the zombies mode can make. I mean, it's been an inclusion since World at War, at least for the Treyarch titles. And then when Black Ops 3 came out, the amount of money that they made off of the Gobblegum system and the amount of money that they made off of Zombies Chronicles, which by the way doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't release Zombies Chronicles 2. Release that $40 DLC, baby. I'll buy it. I'll buy it twice. But either way, the evidence is there as to how much money you truly can make. And Activision just doesn't want any part of it. They want that Warzone money. They want that Fortnite money, baby. And that's a lot of money too, so I totally get where they're coming from. But I think for a company that's trying to make a Call of Duty clone, a very well-designed Call of Duty clone, for them not to have zombies, I think is a huge lost opportunity, or a missed opportunity, I guess the phrase goes. So potentially for them to be doing that, Ubisoft to be doing that. I mean, they did it with Rainbow Six Siege, right? They kind of had like a Call of Duty Ghosts Extraction-inspired Aliens mode, right? It was Extraction, right? And that seems to have done pretty well. I mean, now I think they released it as its own application. Maybe I'm getting that mixed up with something else that they're doing with Rainbow Six. But XDefiant Zombies, that just sounds awesome to me. Especially, like I say, from the gameplay that I've seen and how fluid it actually is, how good the graphics actually look. Seems to be performing really well on PC. You can push those graphics pretty high because they're not trying to be the most realistic game possible. They're just trying to have bright, vibrant colors, gameplay first over graphics, which I think is always the way it should be. Some developers, I guess, seem to get that wrong, graphics and then gameplay, but should be the other way around. And that's clearly evident with like the Roblox Call of Duty clone, because the graphics are insane for Roblox, but it's still Roblox. It doesn't look amazing or anything, but the gameplay is unreal, and that's why that was so popular for a time. But either way, I don't know really what the plan is. I'm excited to see what XDefiant has in the pipeline, what they plan on doing, but until that time comes, I guess we'll just be guessing. But I think that's going to be it. Take care.